Hey everyone, Eugene here. Today I wanted to talk about my first month in podcasting. As you can see, I actually have a microphone in front of me today because I'm creating the podcast episode as well as a YouTube video at the same time, really. So trying to expand a little bit. But how's my first 30 days, my first month in podcast been so far? I must admit it's been quite an interesting journey. There's going to be tough times, and I'll talk about that soon. I've kind of seen it's going to be a very trying journey. Okay, but let's start off with what I learned straight away from the beginning. You need a decent microphone. I've also got earphones and stuff like that, and a little mixing board. So let's just quickly lift that up. No, the cables are too short. Let's do that quickly. And a little mixing board. Okay. So that... Okay, I know everyone on the podcast couldn't see that anyway. But if you're on the YouTube video, you would have seen the little mixing board. Okay, so the reason why I say that this is essential. I didn't believe it in the beginning. And I thought, wow, let me start a podcast. I won't get it now, and see how it goes. After the first 2 or 3 episodes I recorded, I used my phone and some earphones for my phone, okay? And I didn't realize at the time that you actually have to talk into your phone, not into the earphones. So I had the phone like in my pocket or on the table or whatever. So it wasn't recording the best quality sound. After that, I moved to the desktop and I had some gaming earphones, as you can see over here in the video. Some gaming earphones it had a little microphone. And I must admit, it did increase the quality to a decent level. I won't say fantastic level, but to a decent level. It did improve the quality. But then I contacted my brother-in-law, said to him, right, this is what I'm busy doing. What are your recommendations? And he said to me, get this. He sent me a link straight away. He said this pack comes with a microphone, comes with a stand, comes with earphones, and it comes with a little 2-port mixing desk that will be perfect for what you're trying to do. And I must admit, the sound quality is a lot better. So that was something I learned straight away in the beginning. I also learned that, I jumped in feet first. So the day before New Year's, I thought, well, let's do this motivational hits challenge. Let's do podcasting this year. I just went to the internet, found an app, and I started using the app. About a week and a half into it, I then thought, well, let's do a little review, and then I started hearing and seeing what everyone was saying about it, and I was like, maybe it's not so good that I started yet. And then I saw what you have to actually do to launch a podcast, and you need hosting, and you need to learn either Audacity or Ripper or some sort of program where you can edit and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, right, first of all, this is my first month, even though my challenge is for a year. It's my first month in podcasting. Okay, so at that time it was my first week and a half in podcasting. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to go and learn how to start editing and the complicated way, and like going and finding all those little sound bites that could have been removed and all that, and it just sounded like, and then the hosting side of it, then you have to go get the accounts on iTunes and Google and all that and that. So the app that I was using, which is Anchor, it's got a desktop version as well. I was like, right, first of all, I don't want to have to go and pay to host, and I don't want to have to go through all this extra work where I'm not even sure if I want to podcast yet. Well, I kind of know now, but at that time, I wasn't sure if this is even going to be a sustainable challenge, and I'll get to that in a second, as I said. So I learned a lot about what you should be doing with podcasting and where you should be hosting it and all this sort of stuff. And I was like, right, I'm just going to stick to this because A, it's easy. B, it's convenient because like I just go and throw in a couple of transitions and they've made it easy enough to use. Okay. So that was my second lesson I learned was, well, I was kind of doing it wrong. But am I really doing it wrong? Because the main thing is I'm doing it. If it's sustainable for a year or whatever, then okay, I need to really rethink my strategy. Even 6 months, 8 months, probably have to rethink my strategy. But instead of like going and making the first 2 or 3 weeks extremely hard while learning new things and then maybe falling behind and then maybe not publishing and all that sort of stuff, I was like, well, I'm just going to take the easy route and I'm just going to see how it goes. So that was like this second main thing I really learned. Okay. Sorry, it's really hot, Jan. When I put the fan on, it interferes with the noise and stuff. So, okay, so what was the main thing I learned though, right, is I took a challenge of I wanted to publish a motivational song every day, a song that motivates me and the reason why every day for 365 days. Okay, so the challenge in that in itself is finding 365 songs that are motivating, that motivate me. So at the moment, I've definitely started listening to a lot more music, and I must admit, it's been quite fun discovering a lot of this music. Okay, that's definitely been the fun part. A hard part is, for the next 332, 33 more days, I have to find another song every day. That's a challenge in itself. So I have learned that I apparently set very big challenges for myself, because that's not the worst part about it all. The part is, okay, I have to go make 365 podcasts this year. Cool, no problem. I think it'll be manageable. But the thing is, then I'm only doing a motivational song every day, and I want to create videos about motivational stuff, not just songs, but stuff about that I'm going through that helps me get through, or experiences or whatever. And I also want to talk about like marketing strategies, and I also want to talk about the blockchain, because I do believe that that's quite an industry that needs a lot of discussion. But I haven't really been doing that because I've been so preoccupied with the motivational hits playlist, which is fine because it's helped me get started. So now I need to up my game. So now that we're coming into February, well, we're in February now, I need to now up my game slightly more to make sure that I'm putting other content on there as well. I don't want to just be this motivational hits guy. I want to talk about the blockchain. I want to talk about marketing. I want to talk about life experiences, where I failed, where I succeeded. All those things play. Sorry, it's super hot, yeah. All those things are topics I want to start discussing. So I've done, I think, 3 podcasts so far where I've talked about how do you define success, and if you have a passion, you should follow it, etc., etc. So, like now this one, what have I learned in the first month of podcasting? So there will be other topics coming. So I know a lot of you people, a lot of my people that have been listening to my podcast, and let me say, I just want to, first of all, I was blown away. I didn't expect the results in the first month. Like at the moment, I think I'm sitting on like 450 podcast listens in the first like 30 odd days, which is amazing for me. I didn't expect that. I hold my hands up, and I didn't expect that. But I can see it's just climbing now, and it's really, it is like it in itself a very motivational thing, because you're like, oh wow, like on average 12 people have listened to my podcast. That's amazing. Like, I know that it's very small numbers, but it's early days, and I'm still learning and experiencing and experimenting and stuff like that. So it's very exciting to have over 450 people that have listened to what I have to say. Not 450 people, but 450 podcasts have been listened to. That's an amazing feat. Sorry, as I say, it's super hot, yeah. One thing I also have to mention is that there's at least 8 people out there that hated me for at least a week, because one of the motivational songs that I put on a Monday morning was "Everything is awesome, everything is cool when you're part of a team." You know what I mean? Like, those people that listen to that podcast, big shout out to you. I really appreciate you guys listening to that one. Because yeah, I had that song in my head for like a week and a half as well, so that's okay. Yeah, so I've basically, even though it's been quite an eventful month, I've enjoyed what I've done so far. It's been quite a learning experience, I must admit. Realizing straight away off the bat, you do need a microphone. You do need some decent earphones. I'm just not wearing them now because it is super hot. You do definitely need better equipment. You can't just, if you want to do this right, you can't just, you could probably now that I say that, you could probably get away with a nice set of gaming earphones with a microphone. Your quality isn't that bad, okay? But it's not quite the same as actually having a dedicated microphone with a channel. So that is one of the things that I definitely learned in my first month. At first, as I say, I was like, let's just get started. Maybe it's not so bad. And then I did listen to I actually went and re-recorded those ones, because those were like the first 2 or 3 on the actual podcast channel. So if everyone ever goes and listens to those, the audio would have been terrible. So I decided to redo those. What else have I learned? I've learned that it's a challenge. It's going to be a challenge. It's not. I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, but there's going to be a challenge in the sense that finding a song, for instance, like that's why I would love people that listen to this or watch this video. If you have a song, and now that I've just thought of it, I'm like, why haven't I done Eye of the Tiger yet? That's one I think I'll put down. If you have a song that has motivated you or that still motivates you, or has motivated you in the past, or has gotten you through tough situations, drop me a link and let me hear it. Let me hear what it, and yeah, let's see it from there. I have already played 2 songs that people have recommended, and yeah, so I do want to hear from you guys. If you guys want to drop me a comment and tell me what song it is, definitely this is a community-based channel, and I'd like to get your guys' input on this as well, and tell me what you think so far of the podcasting experience. Were you one of the few that listened to Everything is Awesome that Monday morning? Let me know. Just drop a hashtag Everything is Awesome. But no, otherwise it's been a fun experience, I must admit. I've really enjoyed it, and yeah, like I'm definitely carrying on. I do want to grow I want to grow the channel. I do want to start doing it more often. I want to maybe even try and get 1 or 2 people. Like, obviously I'm a community manager with Bexa, and we're going to be holding a conference in March. So I would love to maybe do a little podcast with the 2 guys from Bexa that are going to be presenting there, and maybe do a little intro of what to be expected, etc., etc., and just try like gain the momentum towards all the events we're trying to set up this year. So I do want to use my channel to also like, there's so much happening in South Africa. Okay, blockchain regardless, there's a lot happening in blockchain period. Okay, but there's a lot happening in South Africa regarding the blockchain community. And I want to tap into that and maybe do interviews with other people, other companies that are doing amazing things in South Africa. So that's something that I'm really looking forward to, and I'd like to try and grow like in that sense. So even though it's going to be a challenge to get a song out every day for the next 330 odd more days, it's going to be a fun challenge. And obviously each one of those songs helps motivate me. So hopefully by the end of this year, it's going to be like, right, let's do it. Anyway, thank you very much for your time, guys. I really appreciate everything that you guys do by watching and liking and sharing my content. Thank you very much for the support. I'll see you in the next video. And if you're on the podcast, I'll see you in the next podcast. Take care. Cheers.